Have y'all heard about redlining, the intentional residential segregation of black folks? Let's talk about it. Okay, here's your Civics in 60 about residential segregation through redlining. Okay, this is going to be a little bit more than 60 seconds. According to Britannica, redlining is an illegal discriminatory practice where mortgage lenders deny loans or an insurance provider restricts services to certain areas of a community, often because of the racial characteristics of the applicant's neighborhood. Redlining practices also include unfair and abusive loan terms for borrowers, outright deception, and penalties for prepaying loans. The term redlining references the use of red marks on maps that loan corporations would use to outline black neighborhoods, whereas, of course, neighborhoods in more affluent areas, which were deemed the most worthy of loans, were usually outlined in blue or green. Literal red marks, y'all, led to redlining. Okay, let's bring it home. If you've ever wondered why the West End of Louisville, the predominantly black West End of Louisville, looks the way it does with the disinvestment, the disinterest, the racial wealth gap, I need you to know the word redlining. In 1917, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled Louisville's housing segregation ordinance illegal in the case Buchanan v. Worley. The case brought an end to Louisville's residential segregation ordinance of 1914 when William Worley, a local civil rights leader, challenged the ordinance and purchased a home on a block designated for whites only at 37th Street and Fance Avenue. The 1914 ordinance was put in place with the stated intent to prevent conflict and ill feeling between the white and colored races in the city of Louisville, and to preserve the public peace and general welfare by making reasonable provisions requiring, as far as practical, the use of separate blocks for residences for white and colored people. Okay, y'all, let's talk about this thing in Louisville called the 9th Street Divide. In 1957, Louisville real estate interests recommended locating an elevated expressway through 9th Street. If you've driven to Louisville, you've probably experienced that elevated expressway at 9th Street. Y'all, this concept was based on the Federal Housing Administration's 1938 recommendation that a high-speed traffic artery or a wide street parkway may prevent the expansion of undesirable entities into adjacent areas and serve as protection from adverse influences and inharmonious racial groups. Y'all, Louisville has an unmistakable racial barrier, a literal physical barrier that is ironically named after civil rights leader Roy Wilkins. This wasn't an accident. This was racial capitalism. It was the government working with banks and real estate to block black families from home ownership. Researcher Josh Poe did the painstaking work of mapping exactly what that looked like, block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood, so we can see what policy violence looks like over time. You can still trace those outlined boundaries, those red lined boundaries, onto a map of Louisville today and watch them line up with poverty, pollution, and premature death. Interested in more information like this? Follow me for more Civics in 60.